Hello everybody and welcome to a scenario where civilization starts over. If you have been watching my channel in the past, you might be wondering what happened with my old series, and that is no more. It sucked and I am ending it. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and also this is inspired by Ada's Pro, and without further ado, let's begin the video. As in this area of the world, a group of people will start to sort of explore around here, around where Kuwait is in real life, creating this little, I guess, thing. I don't know what to call it, but they've explored a bit of territory and now they are going to begin expanding into it and sort of form their own civilization. This civilization will be the red team, who form right here. Yep, they started just a few dots in the map, but slowly they do start to expand and expand and expand, just slowly getting larger and larger until they reach a point where they are quite happy. And they decide that we want to go explore the world, we want to see what's out here, so let's begin the explorations. Immediately they begin exploring down here to start things off, going up into Qatar, and where the modern day UAE is, even into modern day Oman, and over this way they just keep exploring and exploring, to the point where they find out that all of this is just a gulf, and they even go in through here. But that's not all as internally. Well, they go more inside of this area as well, exploring, but they can't go as far as they do here, resulting in these being the areas that they have discovered. As a result, the people here will begin to expand in all directions, more so down here though, until they reach Qatar, where they decide to stop. And also over here, yeah, there's a lot of expanding going on over here. But eventually they do reach a point where they are happy with what they have and decide to stop. But there is a group of people who want to go further. There is a group of people within the country that want to expand. A small group, but a group who want to sort of take over everything that they find. And this group will break away and form their own country, but not within the red team's borders. No, they will instead begin to sort of travel to so that the red team cannot find them. This group will go along the coast over here and sort of into where modern day Yemen is, and yeah, they're making it quite far, until eventually they reach an area that they're happy in, and thus begin to start their own sort of country. This country will be begun in Yemen, where these people will instantly start to take this area. They'll even expand in through here, and even up north a little bit, until eventually they're at a point where they're like, yeah, this seems reasonable. Let's start exploring again so we can find out what else we can take. We will then see the blue team expand inward, and they're like, wow, it's hot over here. Okay, we should probably stick to the coast, where they begin to explore up north. But weirdly enough, it seems as though whenever they do go explore up north, people come back with injuries, describing a group of people who keep attacking them, who keep launching raids. So the next group of explorers they send them out with weapons, and what they find is this. And you'll be thinking, that's just a grey blob on the map. No, not actually, because this, when I have something grey on the map, like that's sort of like a country or something, that is a group of tribes. Not all of these are the same tribe, obviously, but this is a group of a lot of tribes, possibly hundreds. But essentially, whenever they see outsiders, they're like, nope, and just start attacking them. So the blue team, seeing this as a threat, will decide to go up north and deal with them. As the blue team go up north, they do get constantly bombarded by tribal attacks and raids, which is a bit annoying, but they learn to just deal with it, until they eventually reach the border of the tribes, and some fighting actually starts, in which the blue team seems to have massively underestimated the tribe's power, as they're only able to go a little bit, but the tribes do end up taking some technology. They see the centralized government of the blue team, and one of these tribes, the largest tribe, is a bit inspired by this. And here the tribe is. This one is inspired as they form their own centralized country and immediately try and unite all of this group of tribes to do the same, starting to sort of invade tribes, but the people actually mostly welcome them with open arms. There's only really issues when they get to the north, where these tribes are a little bit different, so they decide to not follow the yellow team and decide to form their own centralized country. This country will be the green team, who instantly starts off a bit small, and knowing this, they will begin expansion, and so will the yellow team, actually, as the two will start to explore so that they can expand. We instantly start to see explorations further into the Arabian Desert, which is very difficult, but since a lot of these people were born and raised in the Arabian Desert, they manage it a lot better than people from the red team or the blue team. They also go up north, taking some territories over here. Exploring. Until they eventually find this, which we know nowadays is, I think that's the Suez region. But anyways, now these countries having explored all of this will begin their own expansions. Starting now with this green country, they will instantly take access to the coast and will sort of go upwards, beginning to take lands up here. And they really want to get to this area because they see this as a prosperous area that could really help them in the future. But the yellow team is also doing their own expansions, and we're now going to go see how that is going. The yellow team will start going inwards, as again, used to the desert, so they see this as actual areas that they could maybe use in the future, beginning to sort of wrap around the blue and green teams, and even having a second war with the blue team, which ends up turning the borders into this. And right now, they might actually be the largest country. But they don't want to stop there, as they want to keep going into the desert and all of that stuff. So yeah, the Western Arabian coast is starting to get very interesting. Meanwhile, the red team has done absolutely nothing. Over the next couple of decades, we will eventually see more of this area be explored. Even the red team will do their own explorations into this area, until eventually all the areas will end up being connected, as, well, no one really gets along out of these guys, and they all want to be the strongest in case of a war, which they all know that there will end up being a war, but not everyone's only expanding this way. The red team are going all throughout this area. And the green team, well, they're also expanding up north to find these lands. And eventually they find a nice river, which they will begin to go across and explore. Meanwhile, on the red team, they decide to do their own expanding first before anyone else can, going up into these Iranian regions, all throughout the Persian Gulf, where they have most of their country centralized, actually, and even down into Oman, well, modern day Oman, also going upwards in hopes to maybe find out what is up here. And now let's look at where the other countries will be expanding. Now onto the blue team. They're gonna keep expanding throughout, all the way throughout here, actually. As they know, obviously, they've always known about the existence of the red team. And they sort of want a foothold over here that if the red team were to try and invade them, they would have this whole area to warn the mainland about first. That's their main reason for taking this land, but also money. The rich want money. Now onto the yellow team, who sort of create a spearhead throughout this way. They see this red team thing as a threat, and they are willing to go attack it. Overall, though, this spearhead, they won't be able to reach the whole way, but they will get at least some bit of it done. And lastly, we have the green team, who begin to go up north, you know, doing their own expansion as they go into this sort of Suez region, seeing this as very prosperous and rich, but now they see an even more prosperous and rich region as they start to go towards the Nile, and instantly begin their own expansions and towards it. Yeah, these borders are very ugly. They also take this surrounding area, I guess you could say, as they then continue to expand through the Nile, creating some of the worst borders I have ever seen in my life. But that is going to do it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.